It's Monday, the 25th of November, 2024. Welcome to the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Adam Lang.
Good morning, Michael.
Adam, 5 big stories to race through in 5 minutes, so we better get going. Story number 1, rising tensions in the Middle East and in Europe have failed to quell a surge in global markets, with Wall Street, the ASX, cryptocurrencies and gold prices all at or near record levels.
Yeah, Michael, geopolitical tensions are certainly on the rise. NATO is reportedly set to hold an emergency meeting tomorrow with Ukraine in Brussels after Russia used a new experimental missile in the conflict. That missile, known as Oreshnik, travelled at over 11 times the speed of sound, or more than 13,000 kilometres per hour, before hitting targets in a Ukrainian city. That strike followed Ukraine's use of US-made long-range missiles for the first time, allowing them to hit targets deeper into Russia. Ukraine also used UK-made Storm Shadow missiles inside Russian territory for the first time, and all of this is happening as Russian President Vladimir Putin continues to threaten nuclear retaliation.
Yeah, and at the same time, in the other kind of main theatre of war, Israel conducted more strikes on Lebanon's capital Beirut over the weekend, the latest in that conflict between the two nations.
Yeah, Michael, and to your point, markets, particularly equity markets, continue to surge. Wall Street has just about completed its third quarter earnings season, and more than 75% of companies beat expectations. Earnings growth is running at a very strong 8.7%. The major indices on Wall Street are now trading at near record levels. Over the weekend, Bitcoin hit yet another record high, just below US $99,500, on the back of growing belief that regulations for cryptocurrencies in the US will be relatively mild in a Trump administration. Gold jumped 5% last week and is back near record levels.
On to story number 2 now, Adam, and Labor has scrapped its plans to crack down on misinformation after failing to get enough support in the Senate. The misinformation legislation aimed to give authorities the power to force tech giants to act on alerts about incorrect information and hopefully then stop them from spreading that information.
Yeah, that's right, Michael. The coalition had already voiced concerns about the bill, and over the weekend, the Greens and most of the Senate crossbench raised their own objections. Yesterday, Communications Minister Michelle Rowland announced the government wouldn't proceed with the legislation, saying it's clear there's no pathway to legislate this proposal through the Senate. But there's still plenty on the legislative agenda this week, with the government aiming to get a series of bills through the Senate on housing, school funding, and the creation of an Environment Protection Agency.
Story number 3, this one's pretty much a public service announcement, Adam. Oil prices are just starting to rise, but fuel prices across the country, with the exception of Perth, are trading at cyclical lows. So it is a very, very, very good time to fill up right now, isn't it?
That's right, Michael. And according to the ACCC, petrol prices in Sydney are around lows last seen 1 month ago. The same deal in Melbourne, though the ABS data suggests prices may be even going lower. Both Brisbane and Adelaide are in the same boat. Generally, over recent months, the lowest prices have been available in Adelaide and the highest in Brisbane. The outlier in Perth, where prices are trading around peaks, with an average price close to $1.95 a litre.
How about this one? Story number 4, Australia Post has asked the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, the ACCC, for an increase in the price of postage stamps as the use of snail mail continues to decline. Now, under the proposal, Adam, the cost of an ordinary letter would, from 1 July 2025, rise 20 cents from $1.50 to $1.70.
In response, Michael, the ACCC said it would seek feedback from the community and assess recovery of efficient costs, including a reasonable rate of return, and how the company's common costs are allocated to the relevant letter segments. Australia Post studies showed letter volume had declined 72% from the 2006 financial year to this financial year. Australia Post made a pre-tax loss of $88.5 million last financial year. Its letters business is losing money, while its parcels business faces stiff competition from Amazon, Temu and Shine.
Last one. Story number 5, the first political showdown between President-elect Donald Trump and his key offsider, the world's richest man, Elon Musk, has been, I reckon, awarded to Donald Trump, this one, because it's a fascinating story. You get the impression, Adam, that it will not be the last time that these two go head-to-head.
No, Michael, I think you might be right. It's going to be an energetic relationship. And this one was over the nomination for Treasury Secretary. Donald Trump wanted to appoint Scott Bessent, a hedge fund manager from South Carolina. Musk disagreed, posting on X that the appointment would be business as usual. Betting markets then showed Bessent's likelihood of getting the job fell sharply, and the Trump team started looking at other candidates. But by the end of the week, they were back where they started, nominating Scott Bessent. It still needs to be confirmed by the Senate, but it could be a sign of future conflict between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, who's supposed to head up a key department in the new administration, focusing on cutting government spending, the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, with pharmaceutical founder Vivek Ramaswamy.
All right, there we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Michael.
It is Monday, the 25th of November, 2024. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if 5 minutes isn't enough, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed, wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 business news by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.